Okay, so this is a question I have about GDK and Cairo. I'm trying to replicate a Microsoft function that is called Alpha Blend, which allows you to stretch draw um, from one device to another. Um, and you have the optional ability to do a blend function, which essentially just allows you to uh, optionally draw something with transparency, where you can control the user can control if something's totally opaque or totally transparent or any value in between that, up to 255 levels of transparency. So I have this application. Let me just run it and show you what's going on. It's working fine, except for the opacity. So um, this is the area in red that is the stretch draw area. This is the source, and the stretch draw area is the destination. So you can see it's the destination is stretching the source out. Works just great as it is right now. When you change the source size, the destination is reflected, as the stretching is. And this works great, but what I want to have is the optional ability for when you're doing the stretch draw to make this transparent or any level of transparency. And that's where I'm having a problem with Cairo. So if you look at the code, I've got this is just drawing the original image, that's the source, and this part that's doing the stretch draw. So the stretch draw code is right here. Basically, I'm getting a Cairo surface, and I'm setting the source of the surface equal to the bitmap, which is actually going to set the pattern. So whenever I do drawing commands, I'll use that pattern until I specify a new source. And then I do my stretching with matrices, translating and scaling, and you can see that part's working fine. And then I draw the rectangle out to the destination, and I say go ahead and fill it, and that fills it in with the source, and I clean up. Uh, the thing is, though, this is always going to draw it 100% opaque. I would like to um, maybe insert something in probably here that would allow me to say, hey, I want to use a different level of opacity, a user-defined one. So, I'd add some kind of argument to this function, like an alpha level that the user can specify and default it to fully opaque. And then I want to do something here, which is because I'm not familiar with Cairo that much. I'm not as familiar with Cairo as I am with Windows APIs. So I want something that is going to allow me to specify the alpha level for the source without overwriting the source. There's Cairo functions out there like set source RGBA, which has an alpha level, but that's just going to overwrite the pixbuf source and just give me a new color with an alpha level. So what I'm asking is if anybody knows of a way to set the alpha level for pixbuf that you're going to use as a pattern, so the alpha level of a pattern before it does a fill. I can imagine a couple of ways to do it that are kind of convoluted, which would involve creating a secondary surface and drawing the image, the entire image to that, using some alpha blending, and then setting the pattern to the new surface I have, and it just gets convoluted. And I just want to know if there's anything I can do here to make use of an alpha that's being passed in the user to set the alpha level, simply set the alpha level for a pixbuf source. So that's my question. What can I do to alpha blend a pixbuf without getting overly complicated? And I welcome your answers.